Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check the videos out. I really appreciate the continued support. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss today, so before we get into it, do me a big favor. If you do end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, make sure you leave it a like. Really helps the videos out more than you know. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Now, the first topic we're going to be touching on briefly has to do with Sony getting ready to potentially have a state of play next week, specifically on Thursday. Now, the reason why I say this is I came across a post on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit where it said Hogwarts Legacy developer guessing showcase date, and I checked it out, and we have the individual on Twitter that goes by Podcast Now saying 5 days until supposedly Hogwarts Legacy is shown. Otherwise, someone is very, very wrong. I personally am not expecting it, but we'll see. And then we have a developer, I think a former developer on Hogwarts Legacy, actually responding to this, saying neither confirming nor denying the rumor, but the timing seems about right to me. I guess we'll see. And this caught some people's attention because the way this is coming off, it really does seem like maybe they're nudging a little bit, saying, yeah, it's going to be shown off next week. Now, the reason why this pertains to PlayStation is because Hogwarts Legacy is a game that is being marketed by PlayStation, and the last time we saw it was actually at a PlayStation event, and there have been a bunch of rumors and a lot of talk that Sony is getting ready to do something this month, whether it be a state of play, a showcase, and that Hogwarts Legacy will be shown off. So you guys can take this for what it is and make of it what you will. But we are moving right along here to the next topic, which talks about Bungie's next game, a new IP. Bungie is a first-party PlayStation studio. While they are independent, they still are underneath Sony. So this is something we're definitely going to want to pay attention to. It says here, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, Destiny developer Bungie has been hiring for a competitive player versus player multiplayer game since last year, and if new job listings are anything to go by, it might feature third-person character-focused action. The job listings, which were discovered by the Game Post, seek developers to contribute to an unannounced multiplayer action game currently in development. Bungie is specifically looking for someone with experience in designing multiplayer levels in a PvP game and prefers candidates who have worked on character-focused third-person action games, platformers, isometric, etc. Familiarity with competitive gaming and esports is a plus. So this isn't a whole lot to go off of, but a lot of people are feeling kind of surprised by what they're hearing based off these job listings, mainly because it seems that Bungie is developing a third-person hero shooter, which is a far cry from what they are known for. I think the biggest surprise for a lot of people is the fact that it's apparently not going to be an FPS, which is obviously what Bungie is very good at making. So that is definitely interesting, but I don't know how you guys feel about this, but the idea of Bungie making a hero shooter, not sure that that's going to be something I'm very interested in, although I will admit that whatever Bungie does announce next outside of Destiny, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to. I will give it a chance. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do, because it's been a while since we've gotten a new IP from Bungie, and you know, they are one of the most prominent developers within the industry, so anytime they come out with a new IP, it's definitely something I think everybody is going to at least, you know, pay attention to see what it's all about. But yeah, at this point, I'm going to ask you guys, let me know what you think about this. For anybody who is a fan of Bungie or a Destiny fan, what do you think about this new information regarding their new IP? Next up, we are talking about some concerns over Gran Turismo 7's microtransactions. Once again, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, Gran Turismo 7 microtransactions have become a subject of controversy after it was revealed that unlike Gran Turismo Sport, players aren't able to purchase cars individually. They now have to rely entirely on in-game credits, which can either be earned by playing or can be purchased with real-world currency. One problem: in Gran Turismo Sport, cars ranged between $1 and $5 each, whereas in Gran Turismo 7, you're going to need to fork out quite a bit of money for credit bundles if you don't want to grind, making cars way more expensive now. As an example, folks over at VGC have pointed out that Porsche 919 Hybrid 16 costs $299, in Gran Turismo Sport and 3 million credits in Gran Turismo 7. If you want to purchase 3 million credits outright, you'll need to fork out a whopping $40. And so it goes on to say here why GT7 microtransactions are concerning. The aforementioned difference between the same cars in Gran Turismo Sport and GT7 aside, the newly revealed microtransactions are even more concerning considering some of the game's cars will be dynamically priced, as reported by GT Planet. Polyphony Digital has teamed up with real-life classic car insurance and valuation company Haggerty for valuation of in-game legend cars. This means that their prices will fluctuate in Gran Turismo 7 in lockstep with the real-world rise and fall in value. Currently, cars in the game's Haggerty collection range between 150,000 and 20 million credits. The credit bundles can be purchased over the PlayStation Store. So yeah, this was something that was causing a lot of concern and a lot of conversation, and I just want to make it clear right up front, when I buy a game at full price, I do not like the idea of microtransactions being there. Now, I understand that there's an argument to be made that, well, you know, if the game is balanced correctly and the developer made sure that the inclusion of microtransactions to skip the grind has in no way negatively affected the overall cadence of how you would play the game, then it's fine. I totally understand that, but it's more of a principle thing where it's like, look, if I'm expected to pay $60 or $70 for a game, the last thing I want to be seeing when I am playing that game are microtransactions and them trying to encourage me to spend more money on the game. I'm just not a fan of that. I just don't think it's right, but regardless of my feelings on it, obviously this is something that is part of gaming. There are a ton of AAA full-price video games that do offer microtransactions, and so I feel like the best thing we can do at this point is kind of evaluate each game that does this, that we're interested in, and decide whether or not it's being incorporated in a non-intrusive way, a way that's not going to negatively affect anybody who just wants to pay full price, play the game, and enjoy the game. Obviously, we don't want to see an excessive grind just because you're not willing to pay even more money to get a shortcut. From what I've been hearing, most GT players are saying that it's just like any other Gran Turismo game, and most GT players enjoy the grind. That's part of the overall experience. And there's obviously going to be those individuals who just don't have the time to grind and have no problem, you know, paying more money for these microtransactions. But to me, the really concerning part here is the fact that Sony decided to change the way this works. The way they had it in GT Sport seems to have been perfectly fine. Players were okay with this, and it really, I think, worked out for a lot of players, where you pay $2-3 here for just 1 or 2 cars that you're most interested in. You can no longer do that. It's clear that Sony is doing this in an attempt to extract more money out of those who are willing to buy these microtransactions, or for those who just really are not able to or just don't want to grind for these vehicles. And I've been very hard on games in the past that have incorporated microtransactions of pretty much any kind. I'm talking about full price games, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, well, now that Sony's doing it, it's totally okay and I have no issues with it. The reality of the situation is I'm probably not going to be playing GT7 anytime soon, and I certainly will not be purchasing any microtransactions. And I'm not judging anybody who's supporting GT7. Apparently it's an amazing game, people are loving it, and the overwhelming majority of players are pretty much saying, yeah, I have no intention of buying microtransactions. But the reality is I've always been hard on any publisher that releases video games at full price with microtransactions in them. It's not, again, so much about how balanced or fair it is, although that is incredibly important. It's just more of a principle thing, as I said, where it just doesn't feel right to me. Frankly, it just feels greedy. Now, the most important thing is, based off of everything I'm hearing, it's not unbalanced, and the way this is being incorporated, it's really just for those individuals who, for some reason, just, they're like, look, I don't want to grind, even though that's like a big part of the game. I just want to buy everything and unlock it. That's pretty much who this is for. And so, again, for most, you know, regular GT7 players who are looking forward to playing the game, they are also looking forward to that grind. And I guess the same can be said for pretty much all games that have these type of microtransactions. But, you know, it is what it is. I understand exactly why people are concerned. I don't like the fact that Sony went from the GT Sport model, which seemed like a better model, to this new microtransaction model. It's clearly done out of greed. And so, hopefully Sony doesn't start to kind of go off into that direction. We know they have more multiplayer, more live service games coming, and how they balance the microtransactions and the monetization is going to be incredibly important, pretty much critical, in my opinion, to the overall success of those games. But leave your thoughts down below and let me know what you guys think of that. The final topic I have for you guys focuses on a big third-party title that I know a lot of PlayStation fans are looking forward to, and we haven't heard anything about it in quite some time. That is Gotham Knights. We have the individual on Twitter, Hogwarts Legacy News. They say Gotham Knights releasing earlier than expected. Just seen this in an Irish game store. And so, as you can see here based off the image, it's saying that the release date for Gotham Knights is April 24th. Now, a lot of people have responded to this and made it clear that it's likely a placeholder. In fact, it pretty much is a guarantee that this is a placeholder date. However, we do also have some evidence that maybe development is progressing very smoothly, and we may end up hearing more about this game soon, and maybe even get a release date. Over on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, once again, it says Gotham Knights playtest has been found on SteamDB. The app was registered today and had a public build according to SteamDB, but was deleted shortly. This could suggest a beta test of the game might be happening since it features 2-player co-op. So while it might not be a whole lot to go off of, it seems likely we are going to hear more about Gotham Knights in the not too distant future. I mean, we're hearing that Hogwarts Legacy has a new trailer. Now we're starting to see some movement regarding Gotham Knights. Seems like it's all kind of lining up here, and so I'm hoping we do hear more about this game soon, because I am looking forward to it. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, leave it a like if you did. Leave all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.